Greetings, this is Marley in wonderful selfie stick mode. Yes, I can actually move my hand and stuff. So, you know what I was doing this morning? I was watching the news. How depressing is the news over in the UK? I was watching Sky News, and it was like, and the news today is Brexit still happening? How are we doing with Brexit? Well, we're lying about it, and we're doing great. And Europe are they're really gonna suffer when we leave if they don't change their opinion. Okay, great, thanks for lying. Okay, and now we're gonna talk about the coronavirus. How's the coronavirus doing? Well, we're all dying. Okay, what else? Okay, we're shutting down this area, shutting down that area. But if there's 6 of you, it's fine. But if there's 7, it's not. If it's 6 people before 10 o'clock, it's fine. But 10 people after 6 o'clock is bad. After 10 o'clock is bad. 6 people after 10 o'clock is bad. Even I'm getting confused with the nonsense that is coming out of the TV. And I've always said this before. The word war, W-A-R, right? It comes from the same Latin root as the German word Wurst, as in like sausage, because of the mix up, the blend of different meats and so on and so forth, to make it a sausage. And the idea behind this word war is that confusion is also a way of warfare. When people don't know what's going on, who to believe, which way is up, which way is down, it causes confusion to the point where people cannot plan, cannot do anything. And we see it over there in the UK, and it's just unfair. People end up dealing with, looking at and worrying about the things they can deal with, they can fix. But while you've got a system where you could have like the president of the country go into a town hall meeting and blatantly just lie on himself. I mean, there's this whole thing at the moment. Sorry, I'm dating this video, but this whole thing at the moment where President Trump did a video, an interview with Bob Woodward, spoke about how serious you have to take the coronavirus, and that he is downplaying it on purpose. And then when people say that, like 2 days later on, why are you downplaying the he's like, I don't know, I was downplaying it. Like, bruv, like you said it yourself. Like, why are you pretending like it never happened? How can you like stay? How could you be able to like figure out or feel safe when your leader is a pathological nincompoop? England is no better, and I was talking to one man, he's an Englishman, and he's saying to me that he feels like the whole kind of repatriation movement that is happening across Europe and across America has a negative connotation to it. And I was trying to I said, well, yeah, it's got a negative connotation to it. Of course it would do. If you've been brought up in a country that has been teaching you from school age that you are not as important as your non-melanated counterpart, if you've been told from school that you cannot reach for the stars, you need to find something that is more, more to your ability. When you are growing up and you suddenly find out, whether it's via your parents or just by a policeman having his forearm on the side of your head, pushing you against the bonnet of a car, telling you that you ain't and he can deal with you any way he wants to. When you've had people spit on you, when, like me, where you've grown up in a very segregated area, and the area across the main road is like well known for their National Front rallies and their National Front meetings and their National Front pubs, and that's what you grow up with. Yeah, repatriated may have a negative connotation to it because you've just said I've had enough of that. But what people don't seem to understand who are not from our community is that they kind of expect us to be grateful for what we've had. How could you be willing? Imagine being willing to turn your back on free healthcare, like NHS healthcare, or on constant electricity, or creature comforts like high-speed broadband, or whatever else. Just the ability to be able to get food 24 hours a day, just the stuff that you kind of take for granted in the West, and you find that isn't here, and you find that you're having to make sacrifices on your everyday comfort in order for you to be able to repatriate back. How bad must it be in order for you to want to do that? Because I'll tell you something, there's a scripture. I'm not a religious person, it's just come to mind, where it's like it says about how it's better to be living up in the attic of a house where you have peace of mind than be in a house full of contention. And that's kind of like what it is. It's like, yeah, things ain't perfect here. Work needs to be done. And what you'll find is, as you look around different places, if you are thinking about coming to Africa, you'll find other countries that are way more developed here. If you go to South Africa, or if you go to Rwanda, Tanzania, Zimbabwe, Senegal, just across the border here, you'll find countries that are way more ahead as far as the amenities of the area. But here in the Gambia, what we might be missing there, I found has been you can take that and replace it with a peace of mind, a lower blood pressure account. I used to take blood pressure pills back in the UK. I don't know when I'm here. When I get here, I can ease off of them. And now I've been here just over a year now, and so I haven't taken them for about 9 months. And that is testament to the fact that, yeah, I've learned that you can be busy here, you can be doing work here, you can be busy, but you don't necessarily have to be stressed. In the UK, I found that I was constantly stressed. Working from 9 to 5 isn't working from 9 to 5. Working to 9 to 5 actually is getting up at 7 and getting ready and getting to work, and then not getting home until 7 in the evening, leaving the house when it's dark and get home when it's dark. That's what working 9 to 5 was. I realized that a 5-day week wasn't necessarily a 5-day week, because you're doing an extra 2 hours in the office every day of the week anyway, so you're actually doing a 6-day week in 5 days. I understood that, if you're not doing what's expected of you, then there are a myriad of people behind you just waiting at the chance to be able to take your place. That it's not good enough to have, like for example, an amount of money that you need to make in the company. That amount keeps growing, so they say, okay, well, for the same amount of money, we want more from you, and if you can do that, then we're going to increase it and do more. There's no relaxing on your laurels. It means that you are always stressing. From when you're at school, you're worrying about not only about the teachers and the racism and so on and so forth, but making sure that you have the correct grades so that you can get to the correct college, so you can get the correct grades, so you can get the correct university, so you can get the correct grades, so you can get the correct job, which will ensure that you have enough student debt laden upon you to keep you nice and firmly stuck in that system. It's no fun. It's no fun. So yeah, I think that, commit to yourself about finding a way of providing for yourself and for your family a better quality of life, and understand that quality of life doesn't come from trinkets. It doesn't come from, you know, the latest iPhone. It doesn't. Your quality of life doesn't come from having the newest F250. It's not. Now, if you want those things, you can get them. Sure, you can get them here. It will work just as fine. In fact, I like driving my 4x4 here more than I did back in the UK, because I never used to be able to take it off road. But here I can do all the time, so that's more fun. However, where the quality of life comes from is being able to spend quality time with your family, being able to meet new neighbors and being able to interact with them on a quality level, being able to have conversation. Imagine the things you could do if you didn't have to deal with, you know, some jealous Karen who happens to be your boss, and she's trying to tell you as a black woman that, you know, she doesn't like what you're wearing because what you're wearing is, you know, it just makes her look too frumpy. Or you don't have to deal with some racist policeman who's coming at you because they believe that you fit the description of every black person who's ever lived. Imagine if you didn't have to deal with that, if that's not where your brain space was at. You'd have to deal with these stupid little things, dealing with other people's, you know, own worries and issues about themselves. And actually you can start dealing with your community and your people then, and trying to improve. Hey bro, you have to use this door here. Yeah. Imagine what you can do with that as your option. And that's what we're here for. When we was having our conversation over at CoAD, we was talking about, you know, how we can speak to ministers and how we can improve infrastructure and how we can create a lasting legacy for our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren. That's the quality of conversation that we should all be having all over the world. But because we have to keep dealing with stupid nonsense that actually is so below you, you know, you as a human being having to deal with who the latest person that the state has decided they should lynch for that week. These are things that we shouldn't have to deal with, but we keep getting called back to because of the urgency of that situation. We have to deal with that, and at the same time, we have to be able to deal with things like legacy and so on and so forth. While you're over there, and if you are over there, and you know you have no plans to come over to Africa, or you have no intention or no interest, cool, no problem. Understand that you do have people in your family and your friends in your circle who are here or do have an interest in coming over here. And if that's the case, figure out something that you can do with them in order to create a profitable trade going one way or the other, right? So let's take for example fruit juice, right? So papaya grows here, like we've got a papaya tree just growing at the back. It's just grown wild, right? There's people here who have papaya trees. You could speak with those people to be able to create papaya juice that you can actually then go and box and ship and sell to Europe, sell to the Americas. You can explain on the box its cancer reducing properties, sell it as a health drink, make buku money year after year after year, and just trade. Even if you don't want to come here, it doesn't mean that this isn't also your birthright as well. You know, if you want to fight for the land that your ancestors over there in the Caribbean or in the Americas have done, good, fight for that. That's yours. This is yours too. So, you know, let's not restrict ourselves. Let's figure out a way in which we can work together. You know, I don't have family over in the Americas that I could say, yeah, let's do trade with. But you know, it doesn't mean that I'm not interested in working with my extended family. Let's figure out a way. Let's do that. All right, I'm gonna catch you later on because someone's waving at me. I have no idea what they want. Much respect. This is Mali, and I'm signing out.